We wish them luck if they think that's the better thing. There's some issue of judgment if they think that's the better choice.
Sir, now I'm coming to another topic, which is Pakistan. So you have dealt with this topic so many times. So Pakistan, we are seeing apparently getting closer to US from last 30, 40 years, 3 decades mostly. India has seen a very close ties with US. So do you think that it's the revival of the past now? The Pakistanis are again going towards US, and we have seen Mr. Munir being hosted by Trump twice. And so, what is your analysis on this, sir?
Best of luck to the US if they want to have such partners. I don't think it's a choice even worth considering. A choice between an open, democratic, economically rising India and Pakistan, a country which they themselves have had experience in Afghanistan of their, and this is on record of what they have faced in Afghanistan: double dealing, hypocrisy. After all, where was Osama bin Laden found? Not in Afghanistan, but in Pakistan. While all the time the US was providing assistance to Pakistan. So the wheel may have come full circle for them, but they will realize very quickly the true worth of our ties vis-a-vis theirs. We wish them luck if they think that's the better thing. There's some issue of judgment if they think that's the better choice.
Sir, also similarly, Pakistan has apparently done a defense pact with Saudi Arabia, or Saudi has done a pact with Pakistan, you can say. So that have huge implications, sir, on India also, because something like Operation Sindoor can have ramifications from Saudi Arabia if we do it in future. How do you look at this development, sir?
So we need to understand that the Middle East is undergoing a reorientation. It's not because of what is happening in South Asia that it is reorienting itself, but what is happening in that region. So I'll give you three specific things. One, what has happened in Doha, Qatar, with Israel hitting the Hamas leadership, which was in the process of discussing a ceasefire proposal there, has shaken the Middle East. Because the concern is that from the beginning of this year to now, 7 countries have been hit by Israel. And the fear is that somebody is going to be the 8th now. So naturally, people will look at options of diversification of their defense. So that's one reason. The second reason is that mostly the Middle East or the Gulf were dependent on the US. Yet they've noticed that in the last 6 to 8 months, the US has not come to their assistance when the issue is about Israel. And so they're having doubts whether the reliance on the US is adequate. Should they have other layers of deterrence? The final thing is that the Arabs and Iran, despite their sort of improvement in ties, have very long-standing differences. And the Arabs see situation in Iran as a threat to them. So for all these, they are looking at a multi-layered support. And they looked at it, who could provide that support? It can't be the US because it is not helping them. It can't be a Shia country because of the Shia-Sunni divide. So they looked around and maybe they found Pakistan suitable. But I don't think that you will ever see the Saudis take up cudgels against us because the imperatives for them are pretty strong. Huge trade, large number of Indians working there, big investment opportunities, and a huge Indian market. So the imperatives are strong. We need to build them. We don't need to publicly get into a discussion on this with the Saudis because their work culture, their ethos is that we discuss this in private. And I'm confident that I have seen our ties grow with Saudi Arabia from strength to strength. In fact, under Prime Minister Modi, our ties with the Gulf have grown exponentially compared to any period in the past. He is personally invested in this. He knows the leadership of the region, and I'm certain it can be worked out. Also, let's be clear that this is not the first engagement of Saudi Arabia with Pakistan. Their ties goes back to, in the region, they go back to the 50s. Pakistan was a member of the CENTO. It did not mean that the CENTO came and helped Pakistan when they were in conflict with us. Similarly, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have very strong defense ties going back to the 60s. That still didn't mean that Pakistanis were allowed to go and fight the Saudi war in Yemen. So there are constraints both on the Saudi side and on the Pakistani side. India needs to be confident. We need to continue engaging the Gulf as strongly as we did, and we need to work these out quietly in a diplomatic manner, because it is not a street where anybody from the Gulf would want to take on India, and that's not the basis of any basis. Also, I don't see this as a Middle East NATO, because this talk is there, loose talk is going around that this can lead to a Middle East NATO. That's not the reality of the Middle East. They are all nation states pursuing their interests. They have, anybody who's followed them carefully will know that they have differences among themselves. So I don't expect a nuclear armed alliance coming up there. I don't expect Saudi Arabia arming Pakistan, but yes, I do expect that their ties will increase. There will be greater flow of financial assistance to Pakistan, and India needs to be prepared because we need to work with other Arab states here. Our ties with the UAE, for example, are extremely strong. And Saudi Arabia too, given our long-form engagement with them, I don't see this as a challenge that cannot be overcome.